You probably slept for 8 hours last night, or at least you tried to. You went to bed and expected to sleep until morning. It feels completely normal. But for most of human history, people didn't sleep that way. In fact, if you traveled back thousands of years, your bedtime routine would seem very strange. No mattress, no bedroom, no alarm clock, not even a fixed bedtime. Ancient humans slept when nature allowed, not when a clock told them to. And sometimes, they didn't sleep through the entire night. They often woke up for an hour, sometimes even two. Then they simply went back to sleep. To them, this wasn't insomnia, it was completely normal. But why would humans evolve to sleep like that? The answer begins long before cities existed, long before electricity, when the night itself was humanity's greatest challenge. For ancient humans, darkness changed everything. The sun disappeared, and the world became far more dangerous. There were no streetlights, no flashlights, no glowing phone screens, only fire, and whatever light the moon provided. Once the fire grew dim, most activity came to an end. Not because people wanted to sleep, because they couldn't see. The night belonged to predators, wolves, big cats, hyenas, and other animals that hunted after sunset. Leaving the safety of camp could be a deadly mistake. So families gathered around the fire. They shared food, told stories, repaired tools, and waited for sleep to come naturally. But nobody stayed asleep all night. Someone was usually awake, watching the fire, listening for unusual sounds. Because in the ancient world, a peaceful night's sleep could mean the difference between life and death. That constant danger changed how people slept. They rarely slept completely unaware. Researchers believe something fascinating. Ancient sleep may have been naturally segmented. Instead of one long sleep, there were often two. A first sleep, then a period of wakefulness, then a second sleep. Historical records describe this pattern. People expected to wake during the night, and nobody considered it strange. They would add wood to the fire, talk quietly with family, pray or reflect. Sometimes they simply sat in silence. Then they returned to sleep, without stress, without checking the time, without worrying about insomnia. Modern scientists have noticed something interesting. When people live without artificial light, some naturally drift toward this pattern. Their bodies slow down with the setting sun, and nighttime becomes less rushed. But sleep wasn't only about resting, it was also about staying alive. Someone always needed to stay alert, because danger never truly slept. And that's why an ancient campsite rarely fell completely silent. Imagine an ancient campsite at midnight. Most people are asleep, but not everyone. One person quietly feeds the fire, another listens to the darkness. A distant howl echoes through the night. Nobody ignores sounds like that. Fire wasn't just for warmth, it was protection. Its light scared away many predators. Its smoke kept insects away, and its warmth made cold nights survivable. Letting the fire die could put the entire group at risk. That's why someone often stayed awake. Not because they wanted to, because someone had to. Anthropologists have observed something similar. In some modern hunter-gatherer communities, people don't all sleep at once. Their sleep naturally overlaps. As one person wakes, another falls asleep. Throughout the entire night, someone is usually awake, not by strict schedule, just by natural sleep patterns. Without planning it, the group protected itself, simply by sleeping differently. But there was another reason ancient sleep felt different: the seasons. Today, your schedule barely changes. Summer or winter, the alarm still rings. Work still begins on time. Artificial light keeps life predictable. Ancient humans didn't have that luxury. Their sleep followed the sun. In summer, the days were much longer. People stayed active later, and often slept less. Then winter arrived. Darkness came much earlier. The nights grew longer. And so did their time for rest. Their bodies adjusted naturally, without setting a single alarm. Even the moon played a role. A bright full moon lit the landscape, making nighttime travel a little easier. A moonless night was almost completely dark. People learned to adapt, not by forcing nature to change, but by changing themselves. Their daily rhythm wasn't controlled by a clock. It was controlled by the sky. And that may be the biggest difference between their world and ours. Then everything changed. First came cities. then candles and oil lamps. Later came gas lights, and finally, electricity. For the first time in history, humans no longer depended on the sun. Night became an extension of the day. People worked after sunset. They studied late into the night. Shops stayed open longer. Cities never truly went to sleep. Our internal clocks slowly adapted. But our biology didn't completely change. That's why bright screens can keep us awake, why jet lag feels so exhausting, and why sunlight helps regulate sleep. Your body still responds to nature, just like it did thousands of years ago. Ancient humans didn't sleep differently because they were different people. They slept differently because they lived in a different world, a world without electric light, without fixed work schedules, without glowing screens. Their nights followed the rhythm of nature. Ours follow the rhythm of the clock. Yet deep inside, your brain still remembers the old rhythm, the one shaped by sunsets, firelight, and thousands of generations beneath the stars.